comfy on the mat. And beginning our practice with 3 deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose, nice and long, nice and deep. And exhaling through the mouth. And just allowing those deep breaths to let our bodies know we are here or arrived at our practice today. Once you've completed those 3 breaths, if your nose is clear today, we're going to seal those lips and continue those deep rhythmic breaths through our nose. And taking a moment to go up to the top of your head and slowly scanning down your body, checking in. Noticing the space behind the eyes, the jaw, the neck. As you scan past these places, just checking in. Is there any tension there? Is there any stiffness? Is there openness? We're just using this to mark as the starting place of our practice. So we know maybe where we want to work a little bit harder, where we need to back off because we're healing. Learning to build this awareness to strengthen and maintain our body. As you finish your body scan, bring your focus to your sit bones, where you're connected with the ground or your prop. Feeling those sit bones get nice and heavy, rooted down to the ground, helping you stay solid and upright. And from that solid position on the ground, feel your spine begin to grow up towards the ceiling, growing tall, creating space between those little vertebrae bones. So it's almost like you feel rooted to the ground, but light and airy at the same time. If you've been sitting on a hard chair like myself or leaned over a table this morning, just extending this spine up toward the ceiling can begin to make a difference in our body. On your next exhale, let's drop the chin to chest, opening up the back of the neck. And then inhale, begin to rotate the neck around nice and slow. Perhaps inhaling for the first half of the circle. Exhaling for the second half. And if there's any parts that stick out because they're a little stiff, they're a little creaky, just feeling free to hang out there for a moment. Maybe think about those elbows and hands getting heavier to drop those shoulders away. As we gradually just remind our neck, it can move. It doesn't just need to look forward. And then drop your chin to your chest, pausing there again. And then on your inhale, switching the direction of your circle as you slowly go around. Remembering if you hear those snap, crackle, pop, or crispy sounds, those are safe sounds. You're able to move through those sounds. If there's any sharp shooting pain in any direction, you want to come away from that movement. Sometimes rolling back behind the head can cause that sensation. So checking in with your body and what's the best way to move it for you today. The next time the chin comes to the chest, pausing there. Feeling the hands, the elbows get heavy again as those shoulders come away from the ears. We'll inhale, bring the gaze back up to center. If your legs are crossed like mine, you're going to switch across the legs. You work on that symmetry. Rooting down again on the sit bones, strengthening and straightening that spine. We're going to inhale deep. Exhale long. Inhale, sweep those arms up nice and high. Reaching those fingertips up. As you exhale, bring your right hand behind your back, perhaps tenting those fingers, sitting up nice and tall. And exhale, bring your left hand across your body, behind your right knee into a little twist. You want to place that hand on the leg, checking in that you're nice and tall. And perhaps you want to bring the neck and the gaze slightly over that shoulder, or working towards the direction of the shoulder. This is our first twist. Usually takes me a few twists to be able to move a little bit deeper. So just being kind to your body, allowing it to gently warm up without any forcing today. And exhale, let's come back to the center. Inhale, sweep those arms up nice and high, opening the side body. Exhale, bring the left hand behind your back this time, sitting up nice and tall. And then bringing the right hand across the body. Hand can come behind the knee, hand can be placed on the back. Sitting up tall, and then twisting the body over the shoulder. Sometimes I like to think of these twists almost like a dish rag. When you kind of wring it out, you think about moving the bottom part of the torso, the middle part of the torso, and the upper part. There's 3 different movements. Then returning back to center. Let's inhale those arms up one more time. And exhale, sweep them down behind you, grabbing the fingers, maybe interlacing the fingers and bringing the palm together, finding the option that works for you. Rolling those shoulders back and pulling those arms away and down. So we're working those shoulders in all directions right now. And this one for me is the hardest one, the behind one. Maybe observing which one feels the hardest or the easiest for you today. Checking in with that breath. Let's release those arms. Move any height out of the way. Coming into tabletop. So let's spread those fingers out wide. Feel the knuckles and the fingertips. Bring your belly button into the spine to engage your core for some little extra work. We're gonna warm up our wrists today. So inhale, moving your body forward. Exhale, moving your body back. As you do this, listening to your wrists, check in with how far you want to move. Our wrists can be really sensitive. So moving with the breath. And then after you come back, we're going to move those fingers out to the sides, still spread out. Belly button to spine to work the core. And then we're just going to wave side to side, nice and slow again. Listening to your wrists, listening to your forearms. And then if it feels all right, you can bring those fingers so they're facing in towards you. And if this is too much, then I want you to go back to the last step and you can either rock back and forward, nice and slow. Staying within that comfortable movement position and away from sharp shooting pain. And then slowly walk those fingers around front. Come onto the knees just for a moment. We're gonna roll those wrists out. One direction and the other. Maybe you wanna open those fingers and just twirl your palms. Beautiful, shake out those fingers, just like there's water on them. And coming back to your tabletop. Beautiful. Let's do a few cat-cows. Warm up the spine. So inhale, drop the belly, chest comes through, gaze comes up. Exhale, begin to arch, so get cat. And as you move to your own breath in cat-cow today, Focusing on each little vertebrae, noticing how many different ways you can move that spine. Remember, in our back, it's not just one piece, it's a whole bunch of little pieces. So moving slowly through molasses, trying to create some independent movement in the spine. Let's try one more. Returning back to center. Tucking those toes, pushing the hands away, moving back toward the heels. We're going to begin to come up into what may be our first down dog of the day. Those knees can be really bent as we spread those fingers, pushing the mat away, relaxing the neck and head. And perhaps you want to walk the dog. So I believe most of you have been coming to these classes for quite a while now. As we move into our practice today, and we try and use a few less cues. So feeling free to check in with all your little lists, all your little modifications you've learned this year. We're going to move into stillness. Inhale, looking forward. Keeping those hips high, let's baby step those feet to the top of the mat. Between the hands, bend the knees, belly to thighs, forward fold. Gonna have that great big bend as we start. Letting the head and neck hang down like a rag doll. Maybe you want to sway side to side as you feel those feet connect with the ground, spread out and take up space. Releasing those arms, allowing those feet to root into the ground, feel connected as you push your feet into the ground and slowly roll up, hands hanging down. Head comes up last. We're going to be in a nice tall mountain. Coming to the front of the mat if you're not already there. Inhale deep. Exhale long. Let's inhale, sweeping your arms up, whichever way you don't run into furniture. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, right foot. Finding your lunge. I'm going to start with dropping my knee. If you want it to be a little more intense in this 45 minutes, you can raise the knee. We're going to reach on up nice and high. Opening the side body, reaching with those pinkies. And if you'd like to add the back bend today, feeling free to slowly lift that chest as you lean back. Wherever you are, feel that front foot pushing into the ground, the back shin pushing into the ground. Exhale, calm up, and then bring those hands beside the foot. Plant the right hand into the shoulder and open up into your twist. Reaching long with the arms. Option to tuck those toes and raise the back leg if it's not already up. Exhale, bring the hand beside the foot and step back to plank from toes or knees. Bring the belly button into the spine as you exhale all the way down. Cover those hands. Inhale. Exhale, raise the chest and head. Option to lift those feet as well. Slowly lower. Tuck the toes and come back to tabletop or down dog. Spreading those fingers wide. Reaching those hips high. We're going to bring the back feet together. We're going to inhale up the right leg, nice and tall. Three-legged dog, release. Reach that standing foot toward the ground. Inhale, looking forward. Let's float that right foot underneath the body. Coming to lunge on the other side. Option to drop the knee. Lift the hands. You went into the back bend on the other side, add it here. You want to practice symmetrically. Even if one side really likes the movement and the other side not so much, that's very normal. But we want to encourage both sides of the body to be able to do the same movement. Inhale up. Exhale, bring those hands beside the foot. The left hand underneath the left shoulder as you reach up to twist the other way. Reaching long with that top arm. Option to tuck the toes and raise the back leg if you choose. Connecting with that breath. Exhale, bring the right arm down. Step back to plank from the toes or the knees. Exhale down. Inhale, lift the chest and the head. Option for the feet. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes, plant the hands. Find your down dog or tabletop. Spreading those fingers. Feeling the knuckles and the fingertips. Belly button into spine. We're gonna bring the feet together. Raise the left foot up nice and high, three-legged dog. Let the right foot heel drop toward the mat. We're gonna inhale, looking forward. And we're gonna bring that left knee under the body, looking for the hands, stepping between. The right foot's gonna join, front of the mat, forward fold. Feel those feet connect with the ground. Push to stand, coming all the way up. Hands through heart center. By your sides. Finding a nice tall mountain anchored to the ground with those feet. Spine growing tall, feeling light. We're gonna inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, right foot. I'm leaving my knee at this time, coming up to high lunge. Reaching high, opening the side body. An option to once again add the back bend. Perhaps you're noticing the back bend is opening up a little bit more as you go. Rising back up. And from here, we're going to begin to lean forward, almost like we're coming to a diagonal. Almost think this like a human cannonball from, old-fashioned circuits. We're going to bring our belly button into the spine. This is a challenge move. Begin to lean forward over your front leg. Drag that back leg behind and coming into warrior three. We've been doing warrior three in a different spot in our routine. I thought today we put it near the front. Change it up a little bit. So feel that standing foot push into the ground, that foot off the ground pushing into the invisible wall. Wherever you are, just play around with it. And then slowly we're going to begin to stand. Option to challenge yourself by bringing that foot through and up. Exhale down. Hands by your sides. Find the mountain pose. Let that go. The nice thing is the first round, you have no idea where we're going. The second round, you know where we're going. So that round can sometimes be a little bit more fun. Let's try that again. We're gonna inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Reaching high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. Plant the hands, step back, left foot. And move back so you don't run into my furniture. And then let's raise up to high lunge. Reaching tall in the side body. Option to add the back bend. This is a multi-level class, so you can pick whichever options that work for you today. Feeling that breath. Exhale, come on up tall. And then begin to lean forward, belly button into spine. Making that diagonal line, that human circus cannonball shape. And then gradually, let's begin to lean forward, maybe dragging that back foot. So you push off and begin to raise that leg high. You're playing patty cake with the floor. If you're wobbling, if you're falling out, you know the drill. You just smile, you laugh, you try again. And just enjoy the fact that you're moving your body, you're challenging your body. Whew, as I wave there. And then slowly push into the standing leg. We're slowly gonna come up to standing. And if you wanna sweep that leg through, raise the knee. That option is there. Find your tall mountain. Bring those arms down by your sides, hands by your sides. Sitting up nice and tall. Just using this tall mountain to notice the changes in your breath from the beginning of the class. My breath has gotten a bit more rapid. So I'm going to take some breaths through my nose. Counting the beats of the breath. To try and return to bring that breath back down. If you have a soup pot or a yoga block, you can pick this up now and place it to the side of your mat. If you'd like a little bit of height. If you don't have the height, you can work with bended knees. So let's step back with one foot, turn to the side. So we're in a wide-legged position. However it works in your house. We want those feet wider than the hips. We're gonna stand nice and tall. We're gonna inhale those arms up, reaching high. And then we're gonna move those arms up. Maybe you wanna make a star for a second. Nice big X. Then we're gonna sweep those arms behind our body, just like we did at the beginning of class. Grab the fingers or interlace the fingers. Reaching behind you. Standing tall. And on an exhale, you can begin to forward fold. Bringing that belly button to spine, slowly coming down. And you're reaching those arms away from your back body. It may only be a centimeter or two of energy, but you're just trying to work those arms away from the body. Bringing the weight into the ball of your foot. And on the exhale, you can release those hands, bring them down. And this is where you may want to recenter your height in front of you. We're gonna come up, half lift. So those hands can be on your height. If you don't have height and you can't get down, you can bend those knees to bring your hands down to connect with something. We're gonna place the left hand in the middle. Inhale. Right arm up, finding a twist, reaching high. And then exhale, sweep the right hand down, placing it in the middle, lifting up the right arm, reaching nice and high. So I want you to do a few cycles of these to your own breath. So you're inhaling one direction, exhaling the other direction. So you're feeling the twist in your spine, from your low back all the way up to your upper back. You may feel this also in your hips. But allow the breath to guide your movement. See maybe if you can make that movement a little bit longer, a little bit slower. And just observing with curiosity how your breath and movement work together. After your next cycle, you can come down to half lift. Bring those arms out to the sides, forward fold. Hands can come up on your hips, bend your knees, push into your feet, and let's slowly come all the way up to standing. Bring those feet together. You're gonna shake out those legs. And then we're gonna step back to the wide-legged forward fold, but this time turning the toes out, keeping the heels in. You're gonna inhale the arms to cactus arms. And as you exhale, we're gonna come into a wide squat. So you may wanna adjust your stance a little. And if you're leaning forward, if you feel like you're gonna topple over, I want you to think about sitting up. Just really push into those heels and sit up. We're gonna inhale, raise the right heel off the ground. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, raise the left. Exhale, set it down. Keep moving to your own breath. And if these heel raises are really difficult today, you can take a pause at any time. You can stand up at any time. Just ask that you focus on your breath wherever you are. And if you want to play around with this fun one, you can try and lift both heels at the same time and set them down. I shake quite a lot with that. And I find it interesting that it's really hard to push off at the same time. Woo. Perhaps one more, and place the hands on the hips. Push your feet into the ground as you rise up. And then we'll turn the toes and step to the front of the mat. Whew. That was some strength work in the legs. Feel free to give yourself a pat in the back. It's always good to reward yourself. Let's bring those feet together. Arms out in front, reaching those fingers away. Coming up on the toes. And exhale, play with the balance as you slowly come down into a toe squat. If you're feeling like you're gonna fall or wobble, use those arms for balance. And then if you can get down and balance here, we're gonna hang out here just for a moment, feeling that breath. Allowing the spine to be tall. You guys got this. Exhale, let's bring those hands down. Come onto the knees. And this is where you have the option to put a blanket under your knees, or I'm gonna take my yoga mat here and I'm just gonna double it up for a little bit of knee protection. I'm gonna come onto my shins so my knees are underneath my hips. Option to tuck those toes if that feels good. We're just gonna stand nice and tall on the knees. You're gonna take your hands, slip them into those invisible jean pockets, and think about bringing your elbows behind your back body. Feeling that in the shoulders. Bringing the ribs in, bringing the belly in, so we're trying to avoid that. Option to stay here. This is work. You're broadening the collarbones. You're reaching those elbows together in the back. If you'd like, you can move those hips forward. Raise the chest up toward the ceiling and maybe drop the head back into a little back bend. Checking in with the breath. Can you still breathe here? The breath is staggered and troublesome. I want you to come out a little bit. Engaging that front core, let's come all the way up. Untuck those toes. Let's take a moment to sit on those knees. Perhaps closing the eyes, feeling the breath. In back bends, we can have a tendency to hold our breath. So our goal here isn't to have the deepest back bend ever. I want you to be able to breathe in your back bend. Can you inhale deep? And exhale long, continually in your back bend. So this next round is going to take a little bit of truthfulness practice and self-study of your own self on how far you want to go. So remember, our goal is a continuous breath in our back bend. All right, let's rise up on those knees. Doubling up the mat maybe one more time. Those knees are getting sore. We're going to take our hands, place them in our back pockets. Bringing those elbows together. Broadening your collarbone. Gaze toward the ceiling. Option to stay here. Option to begin to move the hips forward. Lifting the chest and leaning back. Option to stay here. Option to tuck the toes. And if camel is in your practice, you can begin to reach one hand down to your heel, the other hand down to your heel. You're continuing to push the hips out, quads move forward, broadening the collarbone wherever you are. And check in with that breath. If it's staggered, if you're holding it, I want you to come up to the level before. Find the place where you can breathe in the back bend. You can breathe in the back bend, your body knows that it's welcome to be there. We want our body to feel confident and safe. If you're in camel, you're slowly going to bring one hand to your jean pocket, the other hand to your jean pocket, out of the back bend, reaching high. Then everyone's going to untuck those toes, come down to your knees one more time. Perhaps tucking your chin into your chest and just allowing your breath to come back to a nice, deep, long place. Beautiful. Perhaps we'll take our hands and put them on the belly as we sit here. This knee sit is a great stretch for the quads. So while we're doing this, let's do a few belly breaths. You know what's coming. Pick your favorite color of balloon. Picture it there in your belly. And inhale deep, growing the balloon, feeling your belly rise with the hands. Exhale, slowly feeling that balloon deflate. Doing a few more balloon breaths to your own speed. Feeling the growth of that breath with the hands. This strategy of using your hands in the belly breath just gives your body a little bit more tactile sensation than just feeling the belly without the hands. You know, I can feel my belly grow a lot more when my hands are there. So one more deep belly breath to your own speed. And then we're gonna come down. If you folded your mat up, we're gonna pull that apart. We're gonna sit in the middle of our mat. We're gonna reach those legs out in a straddle. This doesn't have to be a super wide straddle. Again, we don't wanna force anything. We wanna feel a comfortable stretch, a different change in movement, but we wanna stay away from that sharp shooting pain zone. So finding your straddle, let's sit nice and tall. Perhaps you want to sit on a cushion or a little bit of height, just like we do at the start of class. So that can make it easier to fold forward. So the first thing we're going to do, bring those hands in front, feel your sit bones really push down into the ground and raise that spine up nice and tall. And this is work, just sitting here, rooting those sit bones down, allowing your spine to grow. Perhaps you want to close those eyes. And if you have room to grow today, you can begin to walk those hands forward, reaching your spine out from your hips, keeping it nice and straight, pushing your tailbone way behind you as you walk forward. So it's almost like you're growing from the collarbones, and pushing away with your tailbone at the same time. Once you find your space, you can allow the neck and head to hang. And just spend a few moments here feeling that breath. And also checking in to make sure you're still in that comfortable stretch. Sometimes we say a joyful discomfort stretch. So it might feel a little uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is okay. Sharp shooting red pain is not okay. And that's where you may want to feel free, always feel free to play around with these poses and maybe moving up or down with the breath as you settle in. And slowly on an exhale, let's come on up. We're gonna take the right leg, bending it in across our body so we have half a straddle. We're gonna inhale and reach those arms up nice and high. Once again, feeling the sit bones root down and the spine growing. Having the root down and the spine grow, that's gonna counteract so much of that chair sitting we're doing right now. If you're a chair sloucher like me. We're gonna take this left hand and place it on our left shin. Exhale, reach high. And then we're gonna side bend over. So our goal here is not to touch our toes. Our goal here is to open up our side body. So you're just going as far as you need to feel this outside hip and this outside rib area, shoulder area to stretch. Checking in to see if your belly is facing the ground, if your chest is facing the ground. Think about having it face out across the room. Maybe you want to look up past your arm. Feeling that deep breath as it moves through your body. Then inhale, you're gonna come up, reaching both hands high. Then your right hand's gonna come behind your hip, reaching away from you. You're gonna push into the hand, push into your shin, and you're gonna rise up and come over. And you're counteracting the stretch now and feeling the left side body stretch while building a little bit of strength in that right arm. And then as you exhale, slowly come up, sitting your tailbone back down. And bring those arms down. And we'll try the other side. So right leg goes out, left leg comes in. Ooh, a little bit of foot cramp there. Pointing and flexing your foot when you have a foot cramp comes out. All right, let's sit up nice and tall. Reach those arms up and take a moment to feel your sit bones ground into the earth and your spine grow nice and tall. Straightening out that slouch from the computer. And then exhale, let's bring the right hand to the right shin. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, side bend. So no forcing to touch your toes. And if you're really flexible and you are touching the toes, I want you to really think about having a little bit of resistance in your stretch. So not just collapsing into your stretch, I want you to reach and push away at the same time you're coming over. Nice active stretch here. Option to look up past your arm. Checking in with that breath. Are you still breathing? And inhale, come up nice and high, reaching both arms up. Exhale, left hand comes out behind that last far hip. Spreading the fingers, pushing into the hand. Let's rise up onto the shin, reaching up and over. It's kind of this unique version of a side plank, unique version of gait. I think it feels pretty good. Then exhale, slowly sit down. Reaching up, both hands nice and tall. And then just for mobility kind of balance, let's see if you can untuck that leg all by itself. And then reach out to a straddle, keeping those arms up. And then just for fun, see if you can wiggle those legs together into a pike. Using your own legs to move instead of help from the arms. That can just be a fun game to play with. We're gonna inhale nice and high. And then exhale, reaching out from the hips, leaning forward. And when you can't lean forward anymore, you're gonna bring those hands down onto the legs. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, relax the neck and head. Finding your joyful discomfort in your stretch. staying away from any kind of pain. If you feel a lot of sensation in the back of the kneecaps, I want you to micro bend your knees and lean forward. When I was a teenager, I really felt a lot in the back of my knees and I didn't listen and I would force myself to go down. And that resulted in a long-lasting, not very cooperative or happy hamstring muscle. So really pay attention to the back of the knees. Always know that you can micro bend them. Find your breath. Then we're slowly going to walk back up nice and tall, lengthen that spine. You're going to flex those feet, push those hands into the ground and grow that spine up nice and tall. Checking in, the shoulders are down, you're pushing those hands down. We're in staff pose right now. This is very active. Initially you're like, I'm just sitting here, but when you're flexing the feet and pushing that invisible wall away, when you're pushing your hands down, pushing your tailbone down, but then lengthening your spine, there's a lot of different energy points working here. So feeling your breath. And then slowly, you can maybe bend those knees in, walk those hands back, and we're gonna come onto our back body here. Let's bring those knees into the chest. Perhaps you wanna hold on to the shins, give yourself a little hug. Leave your spine long, or perhaps you wanna curl up into a little egg. Yogi's choice. You're gonna keep those knees bent into your body, flex the feet, and begin to bring those feet up to the ceiling. Whew. Widening those knees a little bit. And then you can grab your shins, your ankles, the tops of your feet, and you're gonna help bring those knees down a little bit lower. So again, you don't have to hold on to the feet. You can hold on to the ankles, hold on to the shins. I like to feel my back be nice and flat in this pose, so I like to hold lower on my legs so that I can extend my spine. You know, some people like to teach this pose where you can rock and roll around, so choosing the option that works for you. Feeling that breath be nice and deep. Maybe on an exhale, you want to try and adjust those knees to the outside again, the hips opening up. And then you can release those legs, bring them together, then set those feet on and round. So you still have bent knees, but the legs are pressing together so that they feel each other. You can bring those arms out into a cactus or out into a T, depending on the room that you have in your space. Then slowly allow those legs to fall over to the left-hand side. Finding a twist. Those knees can separate. The shoulder can float. Just finding a gentle twist here. Allowing gravity to help us out. Maybe you want to look over the right-hand side and add a little bit to your neck. This is where if you've been really controlling your breath, we're just going to let that go right now and allow the body to breathe. Rest. Perhaps checking in with your fingers in this pose. Just notice if you're really extending or maybe you're making fists there. And I want you to see if you can let that tension in the fingers go and just let them be. Maybe you have to help them out a little bit by wiggling those fingers. And I know you may be wondering, what? Fingers for doing a twist? But sometimes it's in those little places we can see if our body's still holding onto tension. It can be little clues to how we're feeling. On exhale, let's bring those knees back to center. Gaze back to center. And slowly begin to twist in the other direction. Option to add the gaze over the left shoulder if that feels okay. And just being a witness to your breath right now. No more controlling it. Just observing what it's doing on its own. Checking in with the fingers. And if there's tension in the hands and the fingers, just feeling free to wiggle them a little bit. And then slowly we're going to bring our knees back to center. Gaze to center. Reaching those legs down the mat, heels to the corners. Arms long by your sides. Back of the palms on the mat, the floor. Tucking your chin into your chest. We're going to inhale deep through the nose. And exhale through the mouth, nice and long. Perhaps noticing how your back body expands more out on the mat. In these shorter new hour practices, our Shavasana hasn't been very long, but I'm going to give you now 1 minute, only a minute, of silence to just allow your body to begin to rest and restore for the afternoon. So for the next minute, you will not hear me talk. The computer will still be on. We'll still be here together. But you can feel the rise and fall of your breath. So enjoy this minute of silence, of stillness, as your body begins to recover and restore for the afternoon. The body benefits from movement, and the mind benefits from stillness. If you have a little more time, you are welcome to stay here on your mat. It's time for you to move. Let's begin by wiggling those fingers, wiggling those toes, rotating those wrists and those ankles. Inhaling those arms up and overhead, reaching fingertips to toes if you have room. Releasing with an exhale. Planting one foot on the mat and then the other. And slowly roll on over to our side body. Using your arm as a pillow and staying here just for a moment. Taking this opportunity today to think of one thing you are grateful for. And when you're ready, you can press that top hand into the ground, pushing yourself up nice and slow. Finding that comfortable seated position. Tailbone rooting down, spine reaching for the sky. Hands can come to heart center. Inhaling deep. Exhaling long. And just taking a moment to observe the difference in your body, and the space between your thoughts that occurred from the beginning of practice until now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate each and every one of you every week joining in on this practice. We have one more week to go before summer, so I hope to see you all next week. Namaste.